Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, no, no. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, no, no.
Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing okay. Sorry, just making sure my mic is working okay. Thanks for all the well wishes. I went out with lunch with a friend today, and I had some fish. It tasted really good, but apparently my stomach did not like it, or it wasn't cooked all the way because I was just in the bathroom for a while blowing up. What do you call it? I had to like do so much mouthwash. So basically, I took like an hour break to make sure I wasn't gonna have any type of episode while live. So thanks for waiting on me to feel a little bit better here. But there is a lot to talk about here as far as Bitcoin, Coinbase, the general market, CPI data. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about today. Should take about let's say an hour to an hour and a half, and then tomorrow it will be the big day when we hear about CPI data and what's going on. And I also want to talk about some things that aren't being talked about too much by the national media, I guess you would say. There's a lot of local newspapers out here in Washington, even some of the local stations talking about it. So there's some big news coming out too that could actually I won't say wreck the economy, but cause some massive disruptions. I think some of you guys know what I'm talking about before I even say it. So we'll get into that pretty soon. Loki wants head rub, so he's blocking my mouth. So you gotta move. There we go. All right. So first, let's start off with Bitcoin here. Okay, Loki's about to pounce on me, so let me give him a treat very fast. You guys can say hi to him one more time. There you go. Oh, it fell on the ground. Here, you can have another one too. There you go. All right, sorry about that. Loki's been super excited. We were outside a little bit ago, and he went crazy because an ambulance drove by, and I live like maybe a quarter of a mile from the street. But when the ambulances drive by, all the coyotes around us, they start harmonizing with the ambulance, and so Loki was like looking to kill a coyote out there. So I was making sure that he was doing okay. So basically, you guys see the Bitcoin chart we've been looking at for the past few weeks here. We have officially broken down now, and that is big news. Because of that, all the longs that I had accumulated over here, I sold off the last of my longs here as far as my swing trades are concerned. I had been telling you guys for the past few days I was more inclined to scale out of these levels and not really buy in, and part of that had to do with the fact that, I was looking more at some of these Fibonacci levels, like, which one am I looking at here? Not that one. This. Let me start that over. There we go. There we go. Those Fibonacci levels that we were talking about, the key one level here, we just had a lot of trouble actually closing above it or just, staying above it for too long. And that's why I was scaling out around here. I had also scaled out a little bit right here, of course, because if you saw that first Fibonacci extension tool, that first level was actually right up here. Okay, so I am all out of my longs. I thought about keeping some small positions in there just in case tomorrow we see a pretty big move up, maybe better than expected inflation data, something like that. I don't want to take that chance right now, even with the shorts that I've opened up right now on a lot of different coins. Not a lot, like it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I took one out on Mana, sorry, one of the metaverse coins. Those are all low leverage. Normally I do anything from 10 to 20x, sometimes 50x shorts. I'm only doing a simple 5x right now because I understand there's going to be a lot of volatility coming tomorrow based off of the numbers coming out. And we have no idea if the numbers are going to be better than expectations or worse than expectations. We know they're going to be better than last month, I assume, but we don't know for sure if they're going to be better or worse than expectations. And that's really what's going to decide which way we start moving tomorrow. So let me hop off of this, but so far these Fibonacci extension tools have been working pretty well. If you guys like to slowly scale it like I do, if you like to do those multi-day, multi-week swing trades, they've been working out pretty well. Just in case we have another one in the next few weeks or so, there's an opportunity to learn how to use those as well. And I have tutorials on them as well, as you guys know. So you guys can see right now, we're also breaking down below the 20-day moving average. I don't put much stock in that right now because the last few times we broke down below this 20-day moving average, not much has happened. Here, we actually bounced back up. Here, we managed to bounce back up. Here, we came down a little bit, managed to bounce back up. I don't really see the breakdown of the 20-day moving average right now being anything consequential. I think of this more as we're breaking down out of this uptrend. We've been in this uptrend for a total of 27 days. On the 28th day, we officially broke down. That does mean something. We could always have a nice spike back up later on today if CPI data is better than expected, but I'm watching the technical breakdown right now, and that's what I'm trading off of at this moment in time, okay? So we're going to take a quick little peek here at the 4-hour chart. You can see so far, simple breakdown, guys. We're slowly grinding down. I want to see if we can have any support levels right around here. around 22,419. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to have that or not, but tomorrow, if things get really, really bad, I think Bitcoin can come all the way back down to $20,686. That's a pretty sizable move, but I think if we have bad inflation data, that a 9% loss for Bitcoin in the day is going to be pretty normal at this point, right? Just look at a couple weeks ago, we had that nice, 9% drop within a day and 20 hours. I think that can easily happen again here. All right, let's move this over here very fast. Hopping over here. Just one little thing before we start talking about some other stuff here. As far as Bitcoin, the Bitcoin chart is concerned, you can see clear breakdown. We managed to bounce off the first time. Didn't really work much after that. Broke down. Got rejected off of the trend line here. I have some shorts open. I assume we're going to be coming back down after that breakdown. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. Bitcoin's only down about 1.5%, but you do have other coins out there like Link dropping down about 4% compared to everything else. If you guys see any coins that have been pumping up a lot recently and haven't been looking as weak, those are usually going to be your best bets for opening up some shorts. I'm just taking the easy path with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Mana just because I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow with some meetings and I don't want to have to be able to, watch some of the volatility that may come out during this market. Okay, so that we know that's happening. NASDAQ still getting rejected. Nothing too crazy going on here. I thought we would have an opportunity over the next few days, but I think the market is just getting prepared for some CPI data. We'll know pretty soon if it's going to be better or worse than expected, okay? All right. Yeah, not much else to talk about actually, besides the NASDAQ on that. As far as cryptocurrency is concerned, in the last 24 hours, not much has been happening. We only have a few things up a couple percent. Mostly everything else is actually down quite a bit. Curve Dow token is down about 9%. Helium is down 8%. So, we're looking at some decent losses. Probably talk about this next. Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you guys about Coinbase. I'll make a video about this later on, everybody. But as far as I'm concerned, Coinbase is kind of in this red flag territory for me right now. I like Coinbase. I've used them in the past. I don't use them currently. I mostly use them as a place, as a middleman to for my transactions. Like let's say BitGet doesn't allow me to transfer to my bank. If I made a couple grand off of a trade, I will transfer that, pay the $10 fee through ERC20, transfer the Coinbase and move it over to my bank account. That's normally how I use Coinbase, right? I don't actually use it for trades because I find the fees very ludicrously high. So let me premise this by saying that Coinbase has $6 billion or about in cash, all right? In cash. So they have a lot of money. My big red flag for today was the fact that in Q2 of this year, they lost over $1 billion. They lost over $1 billion, okay? That is massive. So that means if they keep on this pace, they're going to be losing $1 billion, maybe 700 million, maybe a billion again. They're going to be running through this money very, very quickly. And that's where the red flag comes to me at, okay? So I'm very concerned about Coinbase. I will not be using them for, holding any assets or anything like that. I still feel comfortable enough to hold the assets for 15 minutes while I wait for my BitGet money to go through and then back, right? But for now, I'm being very cautious about Coinbase. I'm not holding any money on there right now. I think in the short term, they're probably safe. But over the next few months, the tension is going to rise if they're not able to secure more capital. Hopefully, they did have a deal out there with BlackRock. This is going to be interesting because, BlackRock controls a lot of assets and they're partnering up. So BlackRock customers, right, they're able to get access to Bitcoin and crypto. That's kind of nice. My problem here is that that's not going to help Coinbase when it comes to retail traders like me and you who do day trading, swing trading, long-term trading. That's not going to really help us out too much. And Coinbase wants us to be part of their app. We're all moving to other exchanges because we think that the fees are too high, or there's other products that are better out there because of you got crypto.com, FTX, higher competition, lower fees, capitalism at its best, right? So right now, I'm just patiently watching this out. A lot of the money that's been going into Coinbase recently has been institutional money. And while I do agree that institutional money is good, guess what? Institutional money usually gets out really fast in a hurry if they need to. And I don't think Coinbase would lock the institutional money. I think they would rather just lock, the the funds of people like you and me who may have under $100,000, under $200,000 in their accounts, right? So you guys know that Coinbase has regular accounts for people like us, and they have like larger accounts for people that have over $200,000 that want to actively trade in the markets. They have different fee structures and things like that. So I'll make a video going more into depth in this tomorrow. But as far as Coinbase is concerned right now, guys, this is on my list of like, hey, I'm not going to be using it besides the 15 minutes my money is on there for transfers. If I'm so unlucky to have a couple $1,000 transfer trapped on there, so be it. But I'm looking for another product right now that'll make it easier just to transfer into that wallet, UDST or UDSC or whatever, and then from there just transfer over my bank account. I'm getting more and more worried about Coinbase. At this point in time, there's no immediate danger from what I sense. I'm not trying to like spread like fear mongering here. I'm thinking if they only have like $6 billion in cash and they're burning through, according to CNBC, you know, let me see if I can zoom in here for you guys. Over 1 billion in the second quarter, and missed analysts expect. Let me see. Yeah. After the crypto exchange reported a loss of over 1 billion in the second quarter. I mean, $1 billion. I know governments have been tossing money around like freaking crazy over the past few years, but $1 billion is still a lot, especially when the company only has about $5 to $6 billion in capital, right? And on cash on hand. I should say capital, cash on hand. So I am getting more and more worried about that. You know, oh, and Elon Musk sells 7.92 million Tesla shares worth 6.88 billion. Holy freaking moly. Okay. Game on. That's going to be a big move for the market tomorrow. I expect the market to open up negative until that CPI data comes out. I would say futures. Let's check out the futures market very fast. Not down by a lot. So far, okay. That's fine. But that is a big sell-off by Elon Musk there. So Twitter shares expect tomorrow. We can actually look at it right here. Does it have after hours trading here? 15-minute chart? No news. Oh, after hours trading is over. Never mind. My bad. I forget how late it is sometimes when because this is a later stream. However, yeah, so that's just my little bit of a warning, guys, about Coinbase. I'll make a video if I can later on, more in depth. I'm very concerned about it though. Not immediately, but over the next few months, get ready for some pain if the market doesn't find a way to pick itself back up. If Bitcoin is down at like $12,000 or even $15,000 and it stays there for multiple months, if Coinbase isn't able to generate revenue, they're going to be in a pinch where they're going to really need outside funding, or they're going to have to find some other way to generate revenue. I'm not entirely sure what the chances of them dealing with a bankruptcy are, but they are going to have to start figuring out a way to get more capital. And I don't think that like something like a player like FTX is going to really want to buy into Coinbase because they already have a pretty sizable market cap. I don't think it's going to be worth his time there. I like the BlackRock deal, but that's not going to save them if the market continues to be in a slump because, again, they're going to be losing $1 billion a quarter. And that was, you know, if we can kind of zoom out here for a second, see Bitcoin's price. I know this looks a little bit different here. Actually, let me just go to the weekly chart. Let's see. Quarter two is April, May, June. April, May, June. Okay. No, January, February, March. January, February, March, April, May, June. I'm losing my mind here, guys. Sorry about that. Let me just go over here. June, April. Where's April at? There we go. That's what we saw, okay? This is, well, we'll go over here. Yeah, there we go. That was about Q2. All Bitcoin did was go down. Even with some of the movement we saw here, that's not going to make up for it. That's the main point I'm trying to convey. Sorry for the rantiness about this, but I'm a little bit tired, and I do want to convey that I am pretty worried about Coinbase. Again, not in the short term here, but again, you know, if you consider like 3-4 months short term, it is coming up pretty fast where they're going to have to figure out a way to generate some revenue. Okay. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, I'm placing low bets, which means low leverage plays right now, shorts, because I don't know exactly what the CPI number is going to be. I expect it's going to be okay. It's going to be around the expectations. I don't know if the market's going to necessarily like that, especially if if it gives the Federal Reserve enough of an inkling to continue raising rate hikes, right? But one other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about before I start diving into some of your questions, and whether about stocks or crypto or whatever you guys want to talk about, there's a hidden problem coming up that I've seen it on some morning shows. I've seen it on my local news, but I haven't heard it. I haven't heard about it, at least for me, from Fox, CNN, MSNBC, any of the big kind of political networks out there. And that it was going to be. Let me see if I can just Google it right here. Let's see right here, news. Oh, it's not even on the news here. Jeez. Okay, there we go. So basically, there was a chance for a railroad strike, a rail workers strike, to happen a few weeks ago. Biden did an executive order to kind of kick the can down the road, so to speak, to see if negotiations could meet some type of consensus so that we can get a deal done and workers can go back to work and there's no threat of a strike, right? Or stay at work and there's no threat of a strike. We're reaching that time where, again, there could be a strike from the railroad workers, which would be absolutely disastrous for the economy right now, because we're already having supply chain issues. And if you guys didn't know, there's a shortage of workers in the trains, in railroads, and there's a shortage of workers on trucks. That's going to be really big down the road. It's not coming up, I don't think, this week, but I think in the next week or two, we're going to start learning more about this. If there really is a strike, everybody, it's going to be brutal. And right now, from a political lens, Biden has to seem like he's part of the workers right now. And so he's going to have to try to back the workers, because if he tries to back the corporations, it'll feed into that general narrative that the Democrats are moving away from the working class and they're just going towards those college-educated jobs at like Facebook, Google, stuff like that, okay? So not an alert or anything like that, but keep an eye on what's going on with the railroad workers. You're already starting to see the ports get backed up again. All right, if the ports are getting backed up, we're seeing the holiday shipments start to arrive for Christmas and Thanksgiving and everything you see for the holidays on QVC, all that good stuff. Let me see. Stocks. Let's see if I can find that. No news. There we go. There you go. Now, this is from 4 weeks ago. It's fine. I'll find another one later on. But you're already seeing the backup start to build up. And basically, if they don't figure it out in the next few weeks, we're going to have those huge shipping, I don't know what you want to call them. You have like a couple hundred ships just waiting off the port. We're going to have that situation again like we had last year. It's just not going to be pleasant. So there's some warnings in the background that you guys need to be aware of. And this is not really big news to us, because we think at least I think the majority of you guys think we're in a recession. Last pessimistic thing I promise here. You are starting to see more layoffs in the tech sectors. Snapchat, some of the new millennial banking type of apps and businesses, they're starting to lay people off. And that should be a concern, because those are the people that usually, whereas a person making $20,000 to $40,000 a year, they have been hurting for a while. They've been already changing their spending habits. As soon as the middle class that thinks they're perfectly fine starts fearing that, oh my gosh, I could be laid off, they themselves are going to be changing those spending habits, leading to them keeping up the restaurant businesses, the bars, all that type of stuff. When they can't, when they start saying maybe I shouldn't be going to the bars, that's where you start to see that recession fear start to spiral even more. Okay, so enough of the pessimism. Sorry about all that. But I mean, there's some looming bad stuff on the horizon, guys. Oh, and sorry, I know I gave my promise. We talked about this yesterday. In September, or maybe even October, you're going to really start to see the rate hikes actually start to affect the economy, because it doesn't just happen overnight, of course. So you may start to see that escalate as well here. So just so you guys know, okay? But okay, if you guys have any questions on coins, I'd be happy to go over them. What I'll do right now is keep Bitcoin right here on the 15-minute chart, keep this on the second chart, and kind of go over any questions. Or if you guys want to ask me about Coinbase, railroad strikes, I mean, any news out there right now, as long as it's not like political, I'm happy to go over it. What's right here? And hey, Brennan. Today has been a very happy day for me. Been learning TA, and for the last 2 years after a big loss, I had a short GRT at 1559 and still holding them up. When do you think is the bottom for GRT? That depends on if you're swing trading or long-term shorting, right? Or something like GRT, I don't even know. I haven't looked at GRT in a hot minute. Four-hour chart might do a little bit better here. Okay, so what you're seeing right now as far as GRT, this one's kind of been a little bit wonky, so don't put as much faith in these technicals just because of how weird this has actually been trading here. Not bad, just not as reliable. You're seeing it actually try to test out support right now. If it does start breaking down and closing down below this 0.1350 level, I think you could at least see it be coming back down to maybe 12.5 cents. From there, you're probably going to be using your basic Fibonacci. Where's the low here? Let's go to the daily chart. A basic Fibonacci retracement level for your scale outs. Now, depending on how you actually got into this trade, you may have money to scale out. You may just want to do one lump sum sell, right? Or close of the position. You're seeing that first test right now around the 0.1373 level. If it's able to break that, since it is looking like it wants to break down today, I think you should be able to start scaling out most likely around 12.5 cents, what we just talked about. And I would probably get rid of the entire position by then, or slowly start scaling out from now until that 12.5 cent level. So at minimum, some of your position that you bought up here on the 15 cent mark, or the short you did, you're walking away. I don't know if you have leverage, but you're walking away with 9% profit if you were to start scaling out now. And if you scale a little bit more over the next few hours, if it keeps on going down, you're scaling out some with profits of 12%. Then if you wait all the way down here, you're scaling out with profits around the 17% level. So if you scale out some now and then middle and down here, if it makes its way all the way down, then you might be walking away with a total of maybe 13 to 15% profits if you're lucky. And, you just got to be aware of tomorrow there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market. So you have to move up that stop loss if you want to make sure that you're going to be walking away with profits. I don't know what your time zone is, but basically the data report comes out tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time, so I'll be asleep. Or it'll come out 8:30 a.m. if you are out in the East Coast. So to me, that says, hey, if I have my shorts open, I want to move up my stop losses for shorts. You're moving them down, obviously. And instead of having a stop loss, if you're buying at 15 cents at like 15.5, I'm moving that down to maybe 14.5, or even as far as 14 here, probably 14.5 to be generous to it. There you go. And then just wait to see what happens, because I don't want to wake up and all of a sudden the CPI data is way better than expectations. Gas prices went down, so all of a sudden, boom, the market's spiking. And then we see a huge spike all the way back up to 15 cents. All that profit that you've accumulated over the past few hours is all gone, right? So I would move that stop loss up just a little bit, but that's me. You could be more aggressive with it. A lot of you guys are much more aggressive about it. But since I'm going to be sleeping during this time, I don't want to wake up and get a rude awakening. There we go. Okay. And hey, Square Bagels, cashed out some profits already, holding all my long-term stuff, and I have limit buys set in place for the drop. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I'm glad you are. We'll have to wait and see, because the CPI data is going to be massive. That's going to be real fun to watch. But, in this bearish market, it pays to sell while the price is high relative to where it's been over the past few weeks, and then just kind of wait for the dip to happen, and then you're good to go. I usually think of it as a good practice thing for people is either to use Dogecoin or STMX. If you look at Dogecoin here over the last few days, maybe the 15-minute chart will work. There you go. You see Dogecoin, like we've talked about for the past few months, and I guess even year now plus. Dogecoin likes to have these little run-ups here, but usually this is a sign for you to start scaling out of your Dogecoin position if you're swing trading or short-term trading it, day trading it. And then from there, you could sell here, 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 maybe at the top if you're really lucky. And then what do? You wait for it to dip all the way back down, and then you can start accumulating again for the long term and wait for one of those big pumps. Now, usually we're looking at like a 4-hour chart or something like that, not at 15. But if you like to do your day trades, usually just buy a nasty dip, right? and you just kind of wait it out, and it usually does make you some good money. But you're never buying at the bottom here. Sometimes you buy too early, sometimes you feel like you buy too late, so you kind of freak out when it starts to dip back down. So as long as your emotions can kind of hold up against that, you can make some really good money as far as some of these Dogecoin spikes that you guys are looking at. Same with STMX, although I'll see STMX has a much lower market cap, so the moves are a little bit more violent. So you can see over the last, this is a 4-hour chart. A couple days ago, it ran up about, I don't know, what's the low here? About 75%. What did I tell you I did? I sold off the majority of it, my STMX around here, sold some up here as well, but right there, so I didn't get the best selling price, but I sold and I made a nice profit. And then what did I do? It came back down here and I bought everything I sold for my long-term holds, bought it all back, and now I have a difference, and that's my profit, and I'm just going to use that to buy more STMX down the road. Loki's very playful today, so say hi to Loki. Go back over here. Back to the second chart works fine for us right now. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. So here, and hey Kevin, I can't do the Robinhood tickers because they're just annoying for me to handle. Basically, this screen that you guys are seeing, it refreshes every 60 seconds, and the Bitcoin and Dogecoin streams or all the Ethereum tickers will kind of bounce up from there. Let's see, look, what are you doing? Get out of there, get out. Yep, there you go. Okay. And hey Monica, can I have opinion on Hood and Mythol? I'll get to your question in a second. I hold some calls ending on this Friday on the 12th. Can you also, do you see close ADA long? Thank you. Yes, I closed all of my longs. Okay. If I see another breakout or something exciting that makes me want to buy, I will buy it. But I was scaling out over the last few days, as I said yesterday. I'm scaling out of my longs. I'm not buying more longs right now. So it depends on if you want to hold on for longer for an anticipation for tomorrow. Maybe we'll have a big spike out of nowhere. That could also happen. But for me, I'm slowly scaling out. While I was scaling out of my positions, I finally closed the rest of my positions a few hours ago or an hour ago once we actually broke down. As far as Hood, so Hood is something I like for the long term. Short term, let me check it out. Yeah, it's at a pretty decent resistance level. All right, so right now I see it is at a pretty nice resistance level right now. It may have an opportunity to break out, but like everything else in the market right now, it's either hit a Fibonacci level or some old level of resistance, and it's in a waiting period, basically, just like the NASDAQ, to see if it's able to break out above that. And right now, the catalyst in order for it to do that is going to have to be the CPI data being better than expected tomorrow. So let me see if I go over to my Fibonacci extension tools. Yeah, it hit the price target up here around 1060. It looks like it actually went up a little bit more for the next day, then it eventually started coming back down here. So it did reach that price target if you were going off of the Fibonacci extensions. Let me see if I can change anything on this just to see if it actually made a difference here. Oh, there you go. If I check the box that says fib levels based on log scale, you'll see that we actually, let me go to the 4-hour chart. You'll see that that's exactly where we got stopped at, right around here. So it did reach that level, just like the NASDAQ, just like everything else. It's reaching one of those critical levels. It's waiting, and it's waiting to see if the data coming out tomorrow, the news coming out tomorrow, will be good enough to really launch everything up. But everybody's kind of holding their breath, so to speak. So right now, it still seems okay if you guys want to be in your stock positions. By all means, yeah, they're not as volatile as crypto, for heaven's sakes. But I'm not going to be heavy on anything in the stock market. Even with options, I've been still doing the day trading technique I've been talking to you guys about because I haven't liked many swing trade opportunities out there unless you were doing some long-term 2 to 3 week holds. And by now, 2 to 3 weeks doesn't seem as nice as it did a few weeks ago, right? There we go. Okay. And we're getting back up to that trend line right now as far as Bitcoin's concerned. This line right here is this line right there. There we go. Okay. And to here. Is the Coinbase wallet safe? To be frank, I don't feel safe enough I don't believe in Coinbase enough to have money on their wallet. I don't. Now, the reason for that is Everything we talked about before as far as Coinbase burning through $1 billion a quarter. Guys, they lost $1 billion in one quarter alone, and I don't see the market turning around enough to really get everybody super excited about trading crypto. Yeah, you guys have to remember that last year, 2020, when we had this epic rally, and even 2021, where we had these amazing times in the market, a lot of that was fueled by governments just literally giving away free money. Now, it's technically I wasn't eligible for money from the government because I exceeded, I guess, the threshold for it. But from what I understand, they gave people, I think, $1,600 or $1,500 payments, right? I think like 2 or 3 of them. And a lot of that money went straight into crypto and fueled this massive boom that we saw, right? I don't see people having that much disposable income for a long time ahead. For a long time. I'm talking about years now, right? It doesn't mean it doesn't mean we can't break out of this bear market. It just means if you're looking for some of those really crazy parabolic things that really make you think, wow, this is insane, I'm not expecting anything like that for like over a year at least. And a lot of the next big pump is going to be really driven by institutional money and not so much retail traders, because retail traders are going to be, crawling out of a recession. That's why we're all buying now, so we can make money as institutional level buyers, get really aggressive in crypto over the next few years, because we're having regulations, everything like that. But to go back to that Coinbase wallet, I don't feel safe having my money in a Coinbase wallet right now. Now, I'm not saying Coinbase is going to announce bankruptcy this week or anything like that. What I'm telling you is they have about $6 billion in cash on hand. They're currently going through about $1 billion a quarter in losses. How long before that $6 billion is gone? About 6 months, maybe 5, I guess now, if they lost $1 billion this last quarter, especially if things don't get picked up. Because right now, what is it? If we're talking quarters here, right? They could potentially try to bring that out for, what is that? Let's say 5 quarters. That could be like a year and a half. Maybe that works out in their favor. But if things keep on getting worse and worse every quarter like they're doing right now, that's why I said maybe like 6-7 months, you could really start to see that really increase here, especially if the recession really does hit next year, like everybody's saying, even though we're already in a recession. The fees they're making, the revenue they're generating is going to be a lot worse. That's my fear coming from them. They did have a nice deal out there with BlackRock, but again, BlackRock has a lot of high net worth individuals, but everything is going to be going through BlackRock to Coinbase. And it's not like Coinbase is going to be ranking in the dough from this. BlackRock is going to be ranking in the dough for this, because that's what BlackRock does. They know how to make good money. See, and hey, Alex, I'm hoping they can get around this situation myself. The good thing about Coinbase is they have been through a crypto winter, like I think you stated. They're going to have to make some big changes going forward. I'm just not entirely sure what's going to happen. Because remember, guys, Coinbase has some really high fees. They used to be like one of the few crypto exchanges out there. But now if I want to go buy something on BitGet or Femex or Bybit or Binance, I'm not paying really high fees to just buy some spot trades, right? Where I'm not buying with leverage, just buy and hold. I can transfer it to another wallet. I'm not paying many fees from the exchanges that I use. But on Coinbase, I'm paying a bunch of money just to buy, just to sell. Are you kidding me? It doesn't make much sense there from a new trader's perspective, because again, let's kind of extend this out to like the mindset of an average new investor coming out there in a bear market. Let's just say they're coming in a bear market or a recession. I'm Joe. I have $100 to invest in crypto. I put money on Coinbase and I try to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin just to have it. And then all of a sudden I see the fee for buying that is like $5 to $6. To me, that I'm like, whoa. So I'm already taking a 6% loss just for buying Bitcoin? That doesn't make much sense. And then all of a sudden he starts looking up other exchanges. Let me see what I can do. Oh, look at this, Binance. Oh my God, Femex has no fees. Oh my gosh, this has no fees. Oh my gosh, this has no fees. Why would I stay at Coinbase? That's the problem they're going to have going forward. And if they try to compete on that level and lower their fees, they're going to be losing money. So they have to find another way to generate revenue. I just don't know what that is right now. If I was Coinbase, I would try to go the Robinhood route and literally just try to open up stock trades. I mean, what's stopping them at this point? That's my solution to the problem. But since I don't understand how corporations work at that level, because I'm not like a corporate guy like that, I'm a marketing guy, not that type of management style guy. Maybe they're not able to do that. But if I were them, I would start investing in that. Open up stock trades, sell option order flow if you have to, get it done. But for now, they're in a pickle, and I want to see if they're able to get out of it. But for now, they don't warrant my trust. See, hey Matthew, thoughts on Kraken? I haven't heard much news as far as Kraken's been concerned. I don't know if any of you guys have heard any bad or good news about Kraken. For me, Kraken has always been just a decent app. It works fine. I think there's other products out there. What I tend to do is I prefer to look at exchanges that have really good websites, and then I like to see that they have a decent app. So Femex has a fantastic website. Bitget has a okay website. It's a good website. KuCoin has a great website. Binance is a good website. Then when you go over to the apps, they all have good apps, right? Good, decent apps. They work. As far as Kraken, I haven't looked at too much of their website, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant. But overall, I haven't heard anything negative about Kraken, at least in my few months of them like really being on my radar here, or I guess a year. But I think they're overall fine. I haven't heard any problems with them having any financial issues, but I can check on, I guess, a little bit later on, or let me see. Go to Google. My new background for my Google webpage. I made this. Okay, let me go to Kraken Exchange news. Let's see. I'm looking at the news. I don't see much issues here, or like warnings. Kraken under investigation for alleged sanctions violations. That's not really a big deal. So nothing to deal with their financials, right? So it looks like they might have broken a minor law, but Coinbase is going through those lawsuits as well. That's another big red flag, lawsuits going forward. But I don't see anything bad coming out with Kraken, over the last few weeks at least. Hey, Miss K, happy to see you. See, hey Miss Kate, want to talk about Doge? Yeah, let me pop on that very fast. It's down about 1.4%. It's not too bad right now. So right now we're looking at Dogecoin. Let me zoom in here a little bit for you. There we go. All right. So what you're seeing right now, general uptrend. We haven't broken down yet. Bitcoin's breaking down. We'll take a look at Ethereum in a second. But the fact that the Bitcoin is broken down leads me to believe that Dogecoin should break down pretty soon as well, unless the CPI data is just like really out of this world. The last few times, actually, Dogecoin has broken down a little bit later. It's been kind of weird how Dogecoin breaks down, but look at this. There we go, right? It kind of glided up here just long enough to see Bitcoin break down, and then it really started to tumble down here. So I'm patiently watching it, but the last time it broke down pretty hard, just like Bitcoin did as well. So I would say be careful of this. If you want to buy some Dogecoin, I'd recommend buying at this trend line here and having a stop loss maybe somewhere down around 0.64 or something like that. So you may be risking 2 to 3%, not much more than that. But I'm watching Dogecoin closely because again, Bitcoin just broke down. As far as Ethereum is concerned, Ethereum kind of had that wonky thing we talked about a few days ago. Ethereum broke down here, but so far it's just kind of broken it down out of the uptrend, and now it's just going back into that flat sideways trend. So it did break down, but not the typical breakdown where we like to see, break down, then it continues down. This is a breakdown of the uptrend and just going sideways here. For now, though, let's see if I can open this up for us. Guess we gotta go there. You may see Ethereum over the next few days start to tumble back down to $1,500 or so. Not too much of a loss, but enough to start worrying some people. I want to see if we're going to be able to have any type of strong momentum. So far over the last few weeks, though, this is the daily chart, we've been able to stay above the 20-day moving average. It looks like very soon we could see Ethereum start breaking down, and maybe if Ethereum breaks down below that 20 moving average, and like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's been breaking down below it quite a bit over the last few weeks, we could see that the market starts to tumble off of Ethereum and not Bitcoin here. There we go. And you guys can see that right now, Bitcoin just trying to break back out above that trend line. We'll see if it does. You can see, I'm not going to leave this line on here, but you can see I can leave it right there. You can see the smaller trend line right here. Let me just put this right here. And we're just waiting to see if we're going to break down out of this one or try to break out, if a whale can kind of give us a helping hand here. See. And hey, Edwin. Hey, homie, do you think China-US war will happen? No, I don't think. You are active today, dude. You just want to play. Yeah, I'm judging you. I don't think a China-US war is happening anytime soon. 10 years, maybe. 10 years, maybe. We kind of disrespected China, I don't know, rightfully, if you ask me, but I guess we kind of provoked them in a time when we don't want to provoke China. So it was kind of a miscalculation just to kind of flex when we didn't have to flex. We're America, for heaven's sakes. We don't have to flex. Speak softly and walk with a big stick. We all know America has a big freaking stick. We know that Russia now has a very tiny stick. But I could see a war with China 10 years from now, but I don't see a war happening right now. The America and Chinese economies are way too intertwined for us to have such a big move. If there's a time down the road where we stop relying on China so much, China stops relying on us so much, then yeah, that opens the door to more, more friction, I guess you could say, more kinetic, more kinetic events happening. But right now, I don't think there's any chance of a China-US war. No. I could see some escalating, some posturing, some macho man stuff. I don't think we're headed for war at the slightest. I think right now what's more likely is both America and China are getting ready for a global recession, and they're just hunkering down and making sure they survive it. I think what's going to happen now is China is going to help Russia that much more to really punish America and punish the West for kind of messing with this policy that I guess, the one China policy that Taiwan has been a part of with America, which says we believe Taiwan is part of China, but, we're a jumbled mess because it's politics, okay? But I don't think we're headed for war. I think what you're going to see is Russia gain a little bit of strength in the war because China's going to give them a little bit of backing. And, that'll cause more economic pain on the West and more specifically Europe, not America. But when Europe is suffering, America usually suffers to help them out in return, right? Because they're our allies. Just think of all the energy crises going on in Europe right now, so what I've been hearing on Channel 4 News in Britain or whatever the French news is. I watch those two news channels every now and again just to kind of feel what's going on over in Europe. They're not looking too good as far as their energy sector is concerned. I know things have been getting better, but that's because everybody's preparing for a recession. That's going to make things a lot tougher. If you have a recession, people losing their jobs, going on government subsidized income that does not increase to the level to match higher inflationary cost, that leads to a disaster where you have people losing their homes, losing their apartments because they can't pay those high fees they had to pay in order to even get a house or an apartment because prices rose like crazy during the pandemic. So I think you're going to see more economic pain coming out of this. I don't think you're going to see a war, not at all. I mean, I would be happy to hear what you guys think, but I don't think we're going to see a war. I don't think America wants a war. I don't think China wants a war. I think right now China's just going to poke us with economic problems. Poke. China's already having their economic problems, but again, you know how much stuff we buy from China? Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And we're a democracy over here, so we have, we vote and do all this stuff. Biden is trapped because he's not going to bring more economic pain, right? I think that's one of the reasons he didn't want Nancy Pelosi to go over there. I was fine with Nancy Pelosi going over there, but I didn't think she needed to. So she went over there, that's fine. She did some really strong words saying we're protecting democracy. Don't poke the bear at a time when we're trying to prepare for winter here, the recession. But, she had the right to go over there. Good for her. That's right here. Hey Kevin, I just want to say it's so nice having you back streaming, LMO. Laughing my ass off. It's a routine of mine now to chill and watch the markets trading after work and listening to you. I appreciate that a lot. It was weird not streaming, guys. It was very, very weird not streaming. I went to the beach. I told you guys this before, but before I started doing YouTube during the pandemic, I used to go out on vacations quite a bit. So I'd be going to the beach in the state. I'd be flying down to California, flying down to Oregon because the tickets were kind of cheap, right? If you're on the West Coast. And then what ended up happening, or even the East Coast, over to see friends out in Philly. During COVID, I stopped traveling and I'm trying to get back at the hang of it. But even now, it just seems like such a hassle to travel. It was very nice, even if I just had a mini road trip, to go out 3 hours, drive to the beach, get myself an Airbnb, get Loki in the Airbnb, and us just have like the beach to ourselves and just chill out for a few days and just relax. I brought my laptop, but oh my gosh, my gaming laptop is not the same as a $3,000 spec'd out computer with 380 Ti graphics cards and all the goodies stuff that I really love, right? Just was not having it. Oh, Bitcoin may be trying to make a little bit of a pump up here. We're looking at the top edge here. We'll have to wait and see, but you can see there is still some buying action going on right now. But yeah, I am happy to be back. I was kind of bored. I mean, besides playing with Loki and kind of going out to the beach, I'm a guy who needs to work. I'm a workaholic. To get over my workaholism, I tend to work on stuff that's fun and just not just straight YouTube, but I have to be doing something. Maybe it's my ADHD or something like that, but I'm all over the place with what I like to do, which is why I always multitask so much and why I'm always doing so much stuff for YouTube. Websites, brand deals, chart technicals, stream preps, news preps, because pretty soon I'm getting ready to start doing more news content for you guys on the other channel. I wanted to do a stream today, but I got really busy this morning, and frankly, I had like 2 hours of sleep last night. I was very nervous for a business call that I had this morning, and I drank coffee when I shouldn't have. And so there's going to be a new sponsor to the channel starting next week, the 15th, which is Monday. So after that, you will see a banner on the top right-hand corner of the stream. This little sucker will be moving down here, and it'll look really nice. And then what I'm going to be doing is the new sponsor is going to be an exchange. And I talked with him this morning, a pretty lengthy call, kind of hammering out all the details about how this deal is going to work. And what they're going to allow me to do, basically, is they're going to have me do live trades with you while I'm streaming. So when I may pop up on other streams, not just my normal 6 o'clock stream, and I may say, hey everybody, I'm looking at a breakdown with Bitcoin. I'm opening up a small short here, a 5x $100 short position. Come trade with me, or you guys don't have to trade with me, but you guys can just see what I'm doing, and you guys will see my live trades there, which would be pretty nice. So it's going to be nice here. And then I'm going to be running some contests, and I'll be able to use exchange money to give to you guys as a little contest money. So I'm pretty excited about it. I was able to scoop in a good deal here. So hope you guys enjoy it when it starts off next week here. I even got all the marketing stuff down, but I got to make sure the contracts are signed on Monday. Okie dokie. Let's see. And hey, Adam, good to see you back with your graphics card is fixed. Oh my gosh, yes. I haven't had a problem since then, guys. I have not had a problem yet with my graphics card. I got a new one. So it took a little bit of time, but I got a new one. They ran all the diagnostics. They updated all my drivers. They updated all my OBS driver, not OBS, whatever it is. All the background stuff in your computer, they updated. I forget what it is. BIOS, operating system stuff. Let's see. Hey Rohit, I just did Ethereum TA a few minutes ago if you want to check that out. I think somebody just asked, Tino's just asked about Chainlink, so I'll talk about that very fast. Bitcoin's looking to do a short-term reversal here. We'll see if it gets the pump it needs, though. So Link is getting hit pretty hard, and the reason Link is getting hit is because on the daily chart, you can see it's actually been rising up a little bit over the last few days. Because overall, guys, you've seen a lot of coins actually been building up quite a bit. This one, it just started to grind more recently here, which was kind of weird. But here, how does this work? Do we want to go right there? We reached this price target over here, so that was kind of nice. People have been using other ones. I guess you could use this one right here if you wanted to, and that kind of mixes up there. I was more inclined to trust the first one here. But as far as Link is concerned, I'm looking at that basic trend line right here. When it breaks down below this, I'm probably going to take a short, and I'll be happy to do so. I think this one can come down quite a bit. It's at, what, 844 now. If we start seeing breakdowns, I'm not talking about major crashes, but just breakdowns, I think you could see it coming back down here to, where's my little horizontal line? Right back down here around $7, so about losing about $1.43 per coin, which would net me about, if I rode the breakdown, maybe about 13-14% profit. So that's what I'm hoping for here. Maybe even as far as having a head and a shoulder, but I haven't seen a head, the full head form yet. So I'm just kind of wondering or keeping an eye on that one. But so far, I would be more inclined to be scaling out of any positions I took right now, waiting for this breakdown here for a short-term short, probably back down to $7 or so. And then from there, probably have a scale out level in the middle there around 767. There you go. Okay. And hey, teacher, have I seen the yield curves? Yeah, the yield curves have not been good at all. It's not looking good, guys. Like the economy, the macro stuff, which is what we talked about yesterday, it's just not looking good right now, which is going to cause some problems. We'll get through it. It's just going to not be sunshines and rainbows for the next few months. We're headed for a recession. I mean, we're already in a recession, but the recession, the side effects of a recession, the job loss and stuff like that, they are going to be coming here, and it is going to be a pain. See right here. Is Uphold safe? I don't know much about Uphold. As long as you haven't heard any bad news about them in the news, I haven't heard anything yet. I think they should be fine. Usually what's been going on is the companies that have been loaning out money to hedge funds and stuff like that, those are the people that are having the most issues here. If they're loaning out their customers' money, and giving out very high interest rates in order to do so, those have been the exchanges that have been getting hit hard. I haven't heard a peep of problems with Femex, BitGet, Binance, KuCoin. I haven't been hearing any problems about those. There have been some like fake FUD attacks on them, but they've been staying strong. They don't loan out money. They're just an exchange that's built on making money and keeping that money, right? And but if you think about things like Voyager or Celsius, they take your money, they give you higher interest rates for taking it, and they loan it out to hedge funds or other institutional players that then try to use that money to make more money in the crypto markets. That didn't work out, of course, because the market crashed and they lost their trades, and therefore the people that they owed money to, now they don't have the money to pay them back, which is why they're going through bankruptcies, right? But as long as they're not doing that, they should be okay here. The only exception to that maybe being Coinbase, and that's not because they're loaning money out in any nefarious way, right? It's just because the business model is currently failing at this moment in time, leading them to have lost $1 billion last quarter, or $250 million a month. That's a lot of money to be losing month after month after month. And when you only have so much cash on hand, and the number one way you generate cash is by active volume trading, like people trading and trading. If people aren't trading because the market looks like complete dog, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to justify, keeping your money in that exchange unless they have a big backer out there who can give them money with low interest rates, so they don't have to worry about it later on. Bitcoin, yeah, somebody's trying to bring it back down now. So here. And hey, Amy, I know you do crypto, but what do I think about the CHIPS Act? The CHIPS Act is okay. It's kind of weird how it's structured. The overall thing about it is I do like the fact that we are going to be making chips in America. I do think that is going to lower increase the supply, and that's going to be very good. So basically, what the Biden administration has been trying to do over the past few, let's say, couple years now, is they passed the Infrastructure Act. Right? The point of the Infrastructure Act was to increase the total supply of what America can make and hold. Okay? So that means if we have a max GDP right now, this is hypothetical, if we have a max GDP of 1 trillion, right? We can make that go up to 1.2 trillion. So that way we can make more goods as a country, more prosperous, more jobs, more all good stuff. Okay? Now, There's issues with that because the way they're trying to do it is a little bit iffy, but the goal there is what they're trying to do is a good goal. It's just the mechanisms of what they're trying to do, it doesn't work out that way, right? Now, for the CHIPS Act, the fact that there is most likely going to be a war with China or a war with China and Taiwan, that is going to be cause a lot of problems down the road, because if China does take over Taiwan, let's just say they do, let's not even say they take over Taiwan. Let's just say they have a complete barricade around the country. All right. And no goods can get out, but maybe food and stuff can get in. Something humanitarianly nice. Well, if that happens, you're going to see a lot of companies around the world that depend on those chips coming from the Taiwanese semiconductor company. You're going to see a lot of those companies start to lose revenue, the production start to halt because they need chips in order to work. And I think a lot of Americans, not really people that deal with stocks and stuff, because we know about this now, there is so much stuff in our life that requires chips to operate. So much stuff that if that system is disrupted, it's going to be disastrous. So we're kind of preemptively preparing for that type of big event. I think that's not going to be good for Taiwanese semiconductor stock in the long term, because they're going to be losing market share to some of these American companies. But I think overall it will be a good thing. Again, you're going to see a lot of wasted money in this. You're going to be seeing some type of tax breaks and stuff like that, which are going to be kind of wonky. But overall, for the state, like America as a state, it is going to be good. It is going to be good. It'll bring a whole bunch of higher paying jobs to certain areas of the country. It may raise inflation a little bit, but again, it's something more of a national security problem right now. If Taiwan is blockaded or there's a war with Taiwan and China, America has to have access to chips, because, I mean, think of the military hardware alone. We have missiles that can be guided now, and we have, all types of crazy weaponry. A lot of our weapons have chips in them. And if we don't have the ability to make those weapons, oh boy, there's going to be some problems there. And the hawks in the government that like that want to have maximum preparedness and stuff like that, they're going to be screaming up, like, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. We don't care how much money it costs. We're the military. Get it done, get it done, get it done. See. And hey, Marshawn, I'd probably say I like Hex and Maxi. They're both fine. I'd probably say Maxi is probably something I'd probably be investing a little bit more in. What's right here? It's right here. ADA, I can do a quick one on ADA very fast. ADA is not doing anything special right now. I looked at it a few hours ago. We can leave the Fibonacci levels on here. Right now, just like Ethereum, I think ADA is following Ethereum a little bit more. There we go. I know, maybe Bitcoin. ADA is now just breaking down. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. Something similar here. You're seeing a clear breakdown. I'd be all out of my ADA swing trades. I probably would have opened up a short right here and just waiting to see what happens. But I'm looking at some type of support level ranging from between this Fibonacci level right here, about 47, 48 cents, all the way up here to 48.5 cents or so. I'd probably start scaling out around the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. But for right now, I'm more bearish on ADA unless we have some really good news coming out. I'm looking at this right now and, not a crash or anything like that, but this is something for a short-term play. I'm more inclined to be bearish on this, hoping we're coming back down to at least, you can see maybe this double top, neckline, see what happens as we approach that neckline. Maybe we break down and head all the way back down to 45 cents. Who knows? But I would assume that right now, because of this breakdown and the fact that Bitcoin's breaking down, Ethereum's on the verge of breaking down, you're going to see ADA at least start heading back down to 48 cents, 48.80. And then from there, start its move back down here to at least 45. But I want to see what happens, of course, because we have to wait to see what happens at the neckline, and then we also have to wait to see what happens with CPI data. CPI data could easily make any of these coins that are breaking down move back up, and then try to do something like that over the weekend. Okay, now I'm predicting that's going to be more bearish, of course, but if the CPI data is better than expected because of gas prices and stuff like that, that could really give a boost to coins. But for now, you're seeing clear breakdowns across the market, and I'm taking that as bearish news. That means I want to be shorting and not being long on any non-long positions or non-long-term positions. How's Bitcoin looking now? Still having some trouble get back up here. Wow. We got close. There's just that level of resistance we need to pass above. See, hey Christopher, sheep to the moon. You think? I hope now. I hope not. I don't think we're seeing anything crazy happening with SHIB anytime soon. I mean, maybe it could have one of those like smaller parabolic moves like Dogecoin does, but I think right now, SHIB is something I would just be trying to accumulate over the long term. Maybe $10 this week, $10 next week, maybe $5 the week after that, something like that. And then I would be, just waiting to see what happens during the altcoin season. I don't really like trading SHIB as far as swing trading, and it's mostly to the fact that I don't like trading I don't like day trading or swing trading coins that have 0.0000000 numbers, right? I don't like doing that. It just annoys me. It doesn't mean that you guys can't trade it. It's just a personal tweak that I don't like. But I think right now I'd just be dollar cost averaging SHIB, small dollar cost averaging. It has a high market cap, so I don't expect really massive gains from it. I expect nominal gains of something like hundreds of percents, not the thousands and tens of thousands of percents down the road. See, hey Benny boy, happy to see you back. Oh, hey, I know. Hey Deez, thank you for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. Oh no, my hand slipped. Well, good day, all. Thanks, Deez. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it, my man, very much, dude. Loki, you're just being a brat right now. Hey, Edwin, hey, Alan, time. Hope you guys are doing well. Holding any long or short positions? No longs right now besides my normal long-term positions. I've closed all of those ones. Right now for shorts, I have a short open on Bitcoin. These are all low leverage shorts. I'm being very cautious just because CPI data could launch us up tomorrow. Bitcoin short, Ethereum short, and Mana short. Okay, right now Mana. I was thinking of doing a couple more metaverse plays, but I'm being very cautious because over the last few weeks, whenever I shorted a metaverse play, sometimes they would pop even though Bitcoin was going down. So I don't want to take on too much risk here. As far as Mana is concerned, though, you guys can see that Mana broke down a while ago. Now that Bitcoin broke down, I ended up taking the short earlier today. I was waiting over the last few days to see if we might pop back above that 50-day moving average. 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We didn't end up breaking back above that, so I was like, yeah, I can take a short. So for now, for my plan for Mana is just to have it come back down to 95 cents. Short profit, nice and easy. 5x returns, short right here. 5 times 6, 30% profit. Hopefully I can make that over the next 36 hours. Ow, dude, what are you, ow, dude, ow. Nibble on my toes. But what do you call it? So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now as far as Mana is concerned. I'm hoping I can see it come down here. If it comes down even more, I'll maybe scale at 50% right here, but I do want to lock in some profit, and I can always add to that position later on because you could always see some type of ugly top neckline. If we start breaking down, maybe I can double down or so, and maybe we hit 85 cents over the next by, I don't know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, if the market starts taking a little bit more of a downward turn, right? Because we did just break down, and for Bitcoin, when I'm looking at here, let's go to the daily chart. We go all the way back down here to the support level around 20,856. I think if Bitcoin starts heading back down to those support levels, yeah, I could see some bad stuff happening for altcoins. But right now, I'm looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it wants to have a mini launch moment here, so I'm watching it patiently. But it looks like it has an opportunity to surge up here. We'll see if it does. But the CPI data is going to be the big catalyst going on tomorrow. And that's why I'm not taking on so much risk by going heavy on my leverage positions. And hey, teaser, I didn't know your computer was messed up. I know how that feels. Well, minus what you do for everyone on PC. I had my 4 terabyte hard drive poop out, and I had to go back to my old 500 gigabyte hard drive. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks so much. Like, guys, I use my computer for everything. I even use it for gaming every now and again. This computer is nice. The graphics card, 380 Ti, whatever it is from NVIDIA, it works very well. I love it a lot. But man, oh man, is it, when you don't have the computer, you can't do YouTube. I can't do meetings. I can't do high quality voice calls. The meeting I did today, I used this camera. And I know you guys can't see me right now, but take a look at this. I mean, like, when I can manually focus this thing, so I can try to make this as crisp as I can before a meeting, and so I can make it too crisp where you guys can see all my pores and shit, so I don't make it too nice. But I even have another lens for it that is really detailed, but I don't really use that too often. Go back over here very fast. There we go. See, hey Benny boy, why so bearish? Oh yeah, Teaser answered your question right there. It's just the macros of the American economy, as Teaser said right there. We're not looking too good. Now, I'm not talking about the immediately like next 48 hours, 50 hours, something like that. We could always have this small pump up here and kind of go back into more of a sideways trading action, right? Not a pure drop down. But for me, I'm looking at the next few months and I'm like, man, we're in a recession. I know other countries, I don't know what their definitions of a recession are, but we're in a recession out here in America, and we're already starting to see layoffs from some of the tech sectors. Nobody cares about layoffs if they're in what you might call a trade job. So like if an electrician gets laid off, or a trucker gets laid off, or an office worker at a warehouse gets laid off. Nobody really cares about that as far as the economist out there that kind of say, hey, we're good or bad. But when a tech employee gets laid off, people start freaking out because guess what? The office worker who's making like $30,000 a year, they've already been penny pinching for a while now because of inflation, and they haven't had all the fun money that they might have had during COVID or before COVID times, right? Like 2020 and before then. So they haven't been able to go out and party as much as they want to. Like when I worked corporate and I was making like six figures, I went out like every single day. Every single day I went out. Now, it doesn't mean I went drinking every single day, but out to dinner, out with friends, out to a movie. I was always doing something and always blowing through my money, blowing through it. But when those type of people, like what I did, when I stopped going out, right? Let's say I get laid off. That means the movie theaters aren't making as much money. That means all the restaurants that like the ones that like I go to sushi places a lot in downtown Seattle. I pay like $100 a meal for sushi. All of a sudden, that $100 every 2 weeks, it goes away. And if a lot of people are having the same issues, it builds up so fast, guys. And it's not like every business is just going to go under. It just means there's going to be a lot more competition to get those people that actually have money to spend, and the restaurants are going to be losing profits because of that. And with the higher wages they're being forced to pay, rightfully so, because of inflation, you're going to see them being squeezed to the point where they have to decide if they want to stay open or not stay open. Maybe it's just easier to, hey, we got a business. Why not just sell the business? We know the economy's bad. We might not make that much money, but we might make a little bit of money or make a small loss, and we'll use that money to fund some other business once the market picks back up again, once the economy picks back up again. And there's always a business out there that will actually buy a small business like that. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I have a friend that used to work at a banking institution, and his job was literally to buy small businesses, and then the bank just put in a manager in there, and the manager ran the small business. They'd up the profits by squeezing employee pay and doing some stuff, and then they'd sell the business to another investor, and that investor would say, oh, now I got a nice business. It runs very efficiently. The workers might not get paid a lot, but the business is making lots of profit. There's a whole side economy for this type of stuff. And as you guys know from the housing market, when institutions start buying up the market, it does make everything else get a little bit more expensive, and it does make things get a little bit more worse, right? See. And hey, Island Time, can I look at a stock? Yes, I can look at a stock for you. Just let me know what it is, my man. Let me know what it is. See. Hey Lawrence, why is Elon on Shiba Swap showing a 60% dip on WRAP Ethereum pair? It's only down 1% on day, so is it really 60% off of Shiba Swap? I don't know why it would be down that much. It looks like it's only down about 2% on my screen right now. I would assume it's some type of glitch that's just working itself out. If you have that, I wouldn't probably sell it. I'd probably try to move it over to another exchange and just sell it on an exchange that has a proper price. From what I'm seeing, it sounds more like a glitch. I wouldn't assume that it's down 60%. That seems kind of extreme for just one day of trading, unless there is some type of weird corruption or rug pulling thing going on for that one type of swap, right? Hey Kevin, I should play Rocky music. It's almost a guarantee to give Bitcoin the motivation needed. I wish, but if I started playing Rocky music, YouTube would automatically shut down the stream because they're afraid of getting a copyright strike on me, or they're afraid of getting sued by the Rocky people. I have a picture in front of Rocky out in Philadelphia. But I wish one day, like, how TikTok, you can use professional music, like, any music, most songs that you want, you can use them. Rocky, YouTube, you can't do that, which always really sucks. Let people use the music they want. It spreads awareness. People like it. It gets people engaged. I don't know why YouTube hasn't been able to get that deal through for the artist yet. Man, it is really getting hard here for Bitcoin to try to make a move up. I thought we had a chance in the last 15-minute candle, but nope. This breakdown is looking a little bit tougher to crack. Let's see. Any thoughts, info on DNA Metaverse Dual Chain Network? I don't know much about it. I would have to do a deep dive probably on another stream here. But if it's a low market cap coin, I'm usually open to kind of doing a little bit of a review during the next stream. I don't know. I haven't heard of it before, but if it has a solid utility, I'd be happy to look it up during the next stream. Just remind me of it, and I'll do a deep dive into it. And by next stream, I just mean tomorrow, basically. But yeah, I'm happy to look into it. It's a domino effect? Exactly. I mean, guys, it really does spread like wildfire once the people in the middle class think that they're going to get laid off or that they're in the jeopardy of getting laid off. It stops their spending habits cold. You're not going to be wasting money. And to be frank, when I go out to the bars, I'm wasting money. Well, not now, but when I was working downtown. Because again, somebody's trying to short Bitcoin down here a little bit. What's an easy way to say this? So when I go out to the bar with my friends, like this is years ago, right? Before inflation went kind of crazy. If I went out for the night with friends, I was probably spending about $100 a night minimum, maybe up to $150, $200 a night, right? And so let's just say at the light, I didn't normally do $200. $200 is when you buy all of your friends a couple rounds of drinks, and then they follow it up by doing it the next day, right? So it's just you like flaunting your money a little bit as a social status within your friends group, right? It's weird. I know I do it. But basically let's say $100. That's $500 a week at local businesses, right? And those restaurants and bars, they don't have massive margins. They have small margins. So once a lot of people start having that same feeling of, oh, I might get laid off, time to cut back on spending so I can afford my rent for like 4 or 5 months. That's where we start to see people, the economy start to suffer. And again, if you make $10,000 a month, right? $10,000 a month, let's say you have a savings of $20,000, something like that. I mean, that's going to be kind of hard, but let's just say you have a savings of $10,000. $10,000. Yeah. Or what I feel like I said another number. Let's just say you have a $20,000. Let's say you have a savings account of $20,000, which is already pretty extreme if you ask me. Pretty darn extreme savings account. Because most of it would be in investments and tied up in capital, wealth management. If you're paying the average rent out here in Seattle, which is like $2,500 to $3,000, I'm bad at math here, so let's just go to 20 divided by 3. That means you have 6 months of rent saved up. If the recession is longer than 6 months and you can't find a job, guess what? You're moving, right? And that's not even including food, gas prices that are still high, all that good stuff. That might knock it down to like 4 or 5 months of savings that you really have when you bundle in all the other stuff. So that's the big concern out there, right? That's the big concern. That as somebody said, the domino effect out there. Oh, okay, no worries, Island Time. Let me look it up. Yeah, I never heard of O. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, misspelled Finviz. Realty Income Corporation. It looks like it's been doing fine. It's close to a breakdown here. Let me just look at this. Short float 3%. Doobity boobity, no insider trading. Market cap is 44 billion. That's solid. Income is solid at 561 million. It's not losing money, but it's making money. That's still good. Even though it's like, real estate, that's a pretty crazy market right now. Had a double bottom, broke out above that, still did fine. So what I see right now is it is facing that level of resistance from right here, right? If it's able to break out above $74.31, you might have an opportunity to trade this a little bit. That might be a short-term buy for you. I would say just be careful. If you do break down from here, it might be worthy to buy some 70 strike price puts 2 weeks out and just watch the sucker slowly come back down to maybe, let's say, around the $68 level. Not too bad. But right now, you're seeing a little bit of a dip. People bought the dip. You may see a breakout here, but I'd be more inclined to wait for that breakdown here and be happy to short that down. Or if you don't like to short stocks, is a little bit different. You could always open up, a 2 week out, closer to out of the money option right here, around $70 or so, and wait for it to come down. As far as what I see here, though, let me see. If you do want to buy this right now, you can see it's having some issues right up here around the $74-ish Fibonacci extension level. I would probably sell the rest of it around $76, to be frank. It's rallied up quite a bit, and usually as I'm looking at this, when it has these nice rallies, it tends to come down pretty fast after each rally, which is kind of concerning here. Over the last few weeks, it's been kind of sustained by this overall general upward move by the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow. But I think it can still come down really, really fast once the market turns sour again. So until then, if the market kind of stays going sideways, I think you could see this grind up to $76. But as soon as it starts breaking down below this level, be concerned that it may start tilting all the way back down to at least the $70 level, if not 68, maybe even as far as 61 over the next following weeks, up to like maybe 3 weeks to a month. Man, we're just kind of slowly tilting over here. Alrighty. Hey Adam, if I have a problem, I will definitely let you know. This one was just because I needed a new NVIDIA graphics card, and I didn't want to pay for one. I think the price for a, I don't even know what it was, 380 Ti cost. Yeah, it's like $1,100. Now, I mean, could I buy that? I mean, sure, but do I really want to pay for it? My warranty just does it for me? No. that's a plane trip right there. That's a vacation. Do I think even Bitcoin is pumped and dumped by market makers? Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is very, very volatile. That's why we all love it. Bitcoin is a coin that is manipulated. That's part of the game here. That's part of why we like it so much. Now, I'm not saying that, like, there's not if you follow technical analysis and stuff like that, you can't make money. But there are times where people try to trade during this volatile moments, and it can really screw you over if you don't know what you're doing. That's why I try to recommend swing trading over day trading, because swing trading, low leverage, you don't have to worry about as much stuff. You just kind of open your position, you have your stop loss, and you just wait. While a lot of day traders out there, they tend not to like stop losses because they think, oh, I know it's going to happen here. It's only a few minutes. You know, I just got to wait 15 minutes or a half an hour or an hour, and I'll be making some good money. But usually, you know, the market makers really know how to mess with new traders' minds, and it can really break them down in a heartbeat. But yeah, the market is manipulated. It always has been, but it's not like you can see. It's not like you can't see which way the market's going ahead of time, right? We talked about this last rally going on a few weeks before it did, like a week before it did, because I was saying, hey, look at all these moving averages showing this reversal signs. Gas prices are starting to tilt off a little bit. You've seen the dollar index starting to tip off a little bit or find a little bit of a high point. That means that we may have a short-term rally here. And then we talked about the last bear market rally for the stock market and crypto. It ran up like 47% for the crypto market. We have an opportunity to do that because we hit, I don't know exactly which chart I was talking about then, but if we go over here to Bitcoin's chart. Where's my rectangle? There we go. We hit this large support buying zone, which covers the old highs from 2017 to the highs we experienced in 2019. This was a great opportunity, and this is where I'm most excited to buy crypto during this bear market. You know, bought up here. We're seeing a little bit of a move, and if you look at the weekly chart right now, oh man, I could easily see us just start crashing down over the next few weeks here, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen. We could easily, by the end of the week, continue to hold above the 200 weekly moving average, start spiking back above 25,000. Could always happen. But I mean, right now, I could easily see that since we're breaking down with CPI data coming out, bad economic data, I can easily see us just start coming back down to like 21,500 or even as far as 21,000, something like that, right? So, you know, you could always see this stuff happening a while and ahead. You just kind of have to hold and be prepared for all the strong moves that happen in the meantime here. Even with what did we talk about a few days ago? It's escaping my mind right now. I won't bring it up, but TIMA's triple exponential moving averages. That's a big sign out there that says if all the moving averages, the 20, 50, and the 200 are all squeezed together really closely, usually the price of Bitcoin is going to have a strong move to the upside or downside over the next few days. And it always works out. I mean, it always works out. And think of it just like Bollinger Bands, it happens quite a bit, right? When they get squeezed together, you see a pop in movement of increased volatility. Oh, there we go. Bitcoin still getting knocked down here. Shorts are attacking a little bit. Not too crazily, but let me see. Whale trades. Two minutes ago, Bitcoin bought, Ethereum long. So not many shorts here. Just some selling going on. That's interesting to see. Did I hear about Kevin Durant and Steve Nash? I mean, I feel bad for Kevin Durant, really. I mean, this guy does not know what he wants, and I don't think he understands how lucky he is to, like, have the job he does. He always, like, whenever I see Kevin Durant and the stories around him, because I don't know if they're true or not, there's kind of stories that the media kind of puts out. Could be real, could be not. But when it comes to Kevin Durant, like, he's the employee that I don't want to hang out with because I know he's just going to have drama following him around. And he's going to be like, hey, man, I need your help with something. And it's going to be something I don't want to do. And he's going to try to peer pressure me. And when I say no, he's going to be like, dude, you know, you're not a friend, man. You're a bad person. That's to me the vibe I get from Kevin Durant. What are your ideal price targets for Apple? I bought at 150, expiring 8.9, a bit of a YOLO. And no worries, Island Time. Happy to help you out. As far as Apple's concerned, I just want to see if there's anything actually here or not. I don't want to do this. We'll just stick to the short-term technicals here. Which one worked better? Held. Okay, they're both okay. Well, initially I would have said my price target was right around here on 148, and you can see we stayed above that, around that level for about a week. After that, we managed to break out clearly above the 158 level. Not much resistance on the upside, though. That's kind of nice here. So right now, as far as Apple's concerned, I would see if I was going along here, I might have a price target over the next week of 171 or so. More likely for me, I would actually not be buying anything right now. I might try to wait till tomorrow, and then from tomorrow or tomorrow afternoon or so, then I might try to make a position. So it's not even, the market's not even open right now. But yeah, I might be trying to open up a position tomorrow, putting a stop loss around the 158 level, maybe 50 cents, 158, 50 cents. And then from there, hope that we can start grinding back up to maybe 168, scale out between 168 and 172. And then watch to see what happens as Bitcoin approaches, Apple approaches the 20-day moving average here. If we start breaking down below this may cause a little bit of a problem. We're looking at a golden cross happening pretty soon between the 20 and the 200 here. But the last time we had that, I mean, it's been a while, guys. There we go, right here. Way over here. Led to a little bit of a gain, a nice little reversal here. But this is back when we were in a bull market here. And I mean, like, this is COVID, right? This was COVID. This is the last time we had that happen. And I think the economy right now is not getting tons of free money from the Federal Reserve. So I don't think it's going to be nearly as high. I would assume right now that we're up here. Where's my little drawing tab? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, magnet's on. All this right up here, all selling territory. I would be scaling out of positions and starting to accumulate shorts or option puts on the way back down here, probably over a 2 to 3 week period. We've already had earnings. We have dividends coming up. I'd be more inclined to buy some puts on this. In the short term, though, there's an opportunity for us to bounce at least to maybe 170 or so, and then from them start making that move back down to maybe around the 158 level or so. Not crashing or anything like that, but a decent move down. Apple's moved up quite a bit, guys, and look here. From the lows, it moved up around 30%. That's pretty crazy. 30% in a 35 days, the 35 trading days. That's pretty insane if you ask me. It'll need to breathe. It'll need to breathe. It's overbought basically. And man, there's a battle going on right now for this one. And hey, Dr. V, is Cash safe in Coinbase? I don't know if Cash is safe on Coinbase like it is in Voyager, and even Voyager had issues with it, right? They had to go to bankruptcy court and get it unlocked. I don't know if they have another bank or institution for that. I can try to look that up for you later on tomorrow, but I'm not entirely sure if they actually have that, if they have another bank managing the money, or if it's some type of Coinbase bank that's just a separate entity using, Coinbase is using the bank as a hold for the cash, right? I'll look it up for you tomorrow, Monica, but I don't know. As far as cash is concerned, I don't ever hold cash in Coinbase unless I'm transferring like earnings or revenue from another exchange over to Coinbase, transferring that USDT over to USD, and then it's only in the account for less than a minute because I do a max cash out, instant payout. So I'm paying a fee to do the instant cash out, and it's there within a few minutes, nice and easy. Hey, Brennan, is Ethereum breaking down now? Let me check it out. Ethereum broke down already. Sorry, I should have said that before I actually pulled this up. But Ethereum broke down a while ago. I mean, this is the 4-hour chart. You can see it broke down here, managed to ride back up. It got rejected a few times off of this trend line right here. Managed to pop back up, and it's coming back down now. On the daily chart, I guess it shows a little bit more of a brighter picture. More full picture, excuse me. So basically what happened with Ethereum is normally when we see, we broke down out of the uptrend, but instead of actually coming down after the breakdown, right, what we did is we broke the uptrend and we just went sideways. And all right now we're doing is we're going sideways. What I'd be looking at today for Ethereum, if you guys want to start getting more concerned about the general crypto market here for the next like 5 or 6 days, is if you start to see Ethereum break down below the 20-day moving average here, that's where I would get more concerned, okay? 20-day moving average. Bitcoin has been going wonky with its 20-day moving average. Break down here, it doesn't mean nothing. Break down here didn't mean nothing. But Ethereum, right? It had some issues down here, but that's just because the whole market was kind of going topsy-turvy. Since it kind of broke out and it's been doing fine, it's been holding that 20-day moving average just fine. The moment it breaks down below that, then you can start to see us coming back down to retest 1500, back to 1388, and then maybe having a death cross happen closer to the middle of the month starting next week, leading us to have a bad next week and maybe just an okay, poor end of this week, right? You might start to see that more aggressive downtrend coming next week unless the stock market does something really crazy, right? Hopefully core CPI is sticky and not really budging. I mean, I hope it's good data, guys. I don't want to see the market just continue to go down like this. Only reason I want it to go down is because I can get really, really great prices on crypto. It makes my life a lot easier, of course. See, you heard Voyager will resume withdrawals this week. That's only for cash. That has nothing to do with crypto. If you have crypto on Voyager, you still do not have any access to it. Only for cash. Only for cash. Oh, and there's the breakdown on that one. We still haven't broken down below on the 5th on this chart here. No, 5 minute. Yeah, it looks like we're breaking down below it. Shucks. All right. This trend line looks a little bit wonky, but I guess the second chart is probably more accurate. We'll wait and see. If I go to the 5 minute chart, let me see this more accurate. Let me go to the minute chart. Maybe I'll try to make this a little bit more accurate here. Almost. There we go. Okay. You can see how the difference in precision can really be crazy here. Let me go to the minute chart for this one here too. There we go. All right. That's why I nerd out, guys. That's why I nerd out. Let's see. There's the 15. There we go. Okay. And we're on the verge. I mean, yeah, we're on the verge of breaking down here. Doesn't mean anything crazy, but you could always consider this a top, and then a neckline down here. I don't know if it's going to be a complete breakdown double top play, but it doesn't look too good at this moment in time. We'll wait to see what happens as the 20 moving average on the 15-minute chart comes down. That's probably our level of resistance right now. Still coming down. I mean, yeah, I wish I can kind of zoom in here. You can see the more volatile moves coming in here. So somebody's trying to bring it down, but at least there are some buyers in here right now. Usually around now, there's an opportunity for a bull to come in here bashing through. But I mean, what bull wants to come in right now the day before CPI or hours before CPI data comes out? A little bit of a, that's a bold statement to do right now, but it can happen. You'd be wanting to see a pretty sizable move though. You had to convert some algo to Poly to transfer from my Coinbase account to my Robinhood wallet. The fees killed me, but I'm out completely. Hey, there you go. The fees on Coinbase are absolutely ridiculous. I will never support their fee structure. It is way out of this world. I don't understand why they feel the need to do so. And because of that, you're seeing other exchanges lower their fees that just to screw over Coinbase. But it happens in business every single day, of course. Supply and demand, better product wins. Robinhood changed the whole ecosystem for TD Ameritrade. I used to pay like $6 to $8 commissions on TD Ameritrade. Robinhood changed that, so I don't pay any commissions now, except for my options contracts with like 65 cents a contract. So like $6.50 for every 100 shares, every option. Not bad. But what do you call? Not even that much, I don't think. They're getting squeezed right now, and the other corporations are enjoying it. If Coinbase, for whatever reason, goes bankrupt, which I'm not saying they are, if they exit the marketplace, all that market share is going to go somewhere else, and the companies that survive are going to be so much stronger because of it. Whether it's an FTX, a Crypto.com, Femex, a BitGet, a Binance, a KuCoin, whatever, all that market share is going to get spread out among those big dogs. Hey, Pulse, good entry point on Bitcoin Cash. I mean, if you, like right now, Bitcoin's at a level of support, so if you wanted to buy right now, I guess technically you could, but just understand, Bitcoin just broke down after consolidating for a few weeks here. You're going to be betting on good CPI data if you're opening any longs right now, because all the technicals are saying we're going down here. So be careful if you're opening up any longs, but by that, I just mean make sure you have a 2 to 5% stop loss, just to make sure no matter what happens, you're only losing 5% of your position. You can trade however you want to, of course, but that's just kind of how I like to do it right now. Hey, Tony, do I see Uber breaking down anytime? Probably not. I mean, not as like, I could see it going sideways with the rest of the market, but I don't think Uber is going to really start to see major pain. Major pain until you start to see the recession really start to hit the middle class people that can afford the high Uber rates, right? You guys know my car was in the shop like a month ago, and within a week it cost me like 500 to like 8. I think it's like close to $800 for just taking Uber everywhere I went. I mean, that's pretty insane, guys, right? Now I don't know how people do that. I mean, I live in the suburbs, so I had to take Uber from my house, from the mechanic to my house, from my house to my haircut, from my house to my grocery shopping, from my house to say hi to friends, from my house to say hi to my mom. I took her out someplace, I don't know where, and then to pick up my car at the end of it. That cost a lot of money, and I gave like $10 tips for every Uber ride I give, because I mean I know they're not making much money with the high gas prices. So I was like, I'll help you out, right? I like to be charitable to people I know that aren't getting the most money, because I used to do Uber when I was in college. They're not something I'd want to be holding right now, that's for sure. I'd be much more inclined for puts that last about 2 to 3 months out, maybe about 20% lower than where the price currently is, and just sit on those suckers and watch them go down. And then we're having a nice little bounce off of support right here. See how that lasts. And hey, Queen Gee, falling gasoline prices are a big factor behind the forecast for lower July CPI, which is expected to dip from a headline pace of 8.7 year over year to from 9.8% in June. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. CPI has inflation peaked less than a lot of people think, just because of gas prices have been going down. And while we kind of watch Bitcoin play out here as we kind of approach this what do you want to call it, 20 moving average, we might just be making a wick on this new hour chart before we dump, right? But watch list. But oil prices have been going down steadily. I mean, they've been going down. We have our first death cross today on the daily chart with the 20 crossing down below the 200. That's a pretty bearish sign for oil prices. And a lot of that is to the fact that we're heading for a recession. I mean, we are in a recession. We're heading for the layoff part of the recession pretty soon. And that's leading a lot of people to be freaked out about the economy, because now revenue is going to drop even more. Margins are going to drop even more. It's going to get much, much worse here pretty soon. And even though oil prices are going down, it's because the economy is starting to get nasty. But, you know, for those people who have to drive to work, hey, I mean, it's not like you're saving a bunch of money, honestly. I still had to pay like $70 to fill up my tank the other day. But, you know, instead of $80, I had to pay $70, right? The little things add up, I guess, especially when you don't have much money. It does add up. So I do like the fact that gas prices are coming down. We have a general downtrend right now. I won't make it precise here, but just a general downtrend. Whenever we start breaking back above that, we might see more concern. But you're seeing oil prices go down, natural gas prices going up because of what Russia's doing to Europe. But overall, I mean, you know, for at least oil, that basic energy need, things are working out okay. And you're even having some trouble out in, I think, Paris or France, because their nuclear energy is being shut down slowly, which means more energy in other sections because of, I guess, the heat wave they're having is not allowing the water to do its job, or something like that happening with the nuclear power plants. So you're seeing some chaos happen over there. Did I do something wrong? Oh, no, I did. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I did do something wrong. Ugh. Nope, I can't fix that. Oh no, no. Whatever. Oh no, yeah, this isn't wrong. Oh man, okay. I accidentally pushed one of the sort buttons here and it really messed up everything. I don't even have my main Bitcoin. Oh geez, yeah, okay, hold on. Oh, I hit exit, okay. Okay, that's fine. Just open it right back here. Scoop it on up all the way back up here. And we should be back to it. There we go, okay. And a nice little bounce off of support right there. Okay. Hate when that happens. Now Bitcoin, I'll move this. We can have Bitcoin here. Ethereum, I just need to move some stuff over here, guys. Sorry about this, but I have a system, and when the system gets messed up, oh gosh, I hate it. STMX is up here a little bit more. Elon can be up a little bit more. Sheep can be up a little bit more. Gala, don't care. Luna, don't care. Crow now. XRP, yeah, sure, why not? FTM up a little bit more. 88 should be up a little bit higher. Same with XRP. Matic should be way up above a lot of stuff. ApeCoin middle of the pack. Ethereum Classic way up high. Sol middle of the pack. There we go. Okay, that's good enough for me to kind of understand what's going on now. But yeah, so that's what we're seeing right now, everybody. We're not looking too crazy, but just get ready for some volatility to come up starting tomorrow. I'm really wondering what's going to happen as we approach this 20 moving average here. But this next hour, as somebody pointed out a few minutes ago, it's going to be quite important here. What do you recommend as a safe and easy exchange you need to get out of Coinbase? Femex is usually a really good one. They have a lot of coins. I have a link below if you want to sign up for that one. I like Femex a lot. There's also BitGet out there. There's Binance, KuCoin. They're all good ones out there. I usually would say for long term, if you just want to let it sit, Femex is usually pretty nice because they always have these little bonuses and cool little things they give you just for holding coins. And they give you these nice little mini rebates that you might not notice. But if you buy coins, you just kind of hold them. All of a sudden, over the days, you just kind of realize that, hey, I have a little bit more STMX than I had before. I have a little bit more Dogecoin than I had before. I wonder why. And they just give you little bonuses for holding it. It's not like an interest program, so don't expect that type of thing. But if you just want to hold money in there and just know it's going to be safe, that's usually what I would recommend, probably FMX. Do I think oil should, I don't know if oil is going to shoot back up if we're headed for a full-blown recession. I think right now, if we do see some type of worse effect on the price of oil and where it goes up, it might happen closer to October, November, December, when things start to heat back up and you start seeing Europe need more oil. That may cause some problems for everybody, or maybe even closer to September, when everybody and the parents have to keep driving their kids to school all over again. That may actually increase demand for gasoline right there. I wouldn't say it's going to cause it to spike, though. I think it may cause it to consolidate for a little bit of time, all that excess driving going on, because I don't think the layoffs are going to matter much right now. I just think that we're going to continue to see a slowing down of the economy. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm gonna call it a night. My stomach is actually acting up a little bit right now. I told you guys I started the stream a little bit late because I had some bad fish today after going out with lunch with my friend. Like literally like a half an hour after my stream, I started like slowly sweating. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I need to go like hack up a chunk or something like that. I'm not feeling too good. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I might do a more of a middle day stream for you guys. Maybe I'll do a stream on my second channel just covering the CPI debt and what that means. And I'll come over back here for my my normal 6 o'clock stream, okay? But I'll see you guys a little bit later. If you guys want to watch the other stream that you guys are going to get transferred over to in a couple seconds, that you'll probably see some action happening in the next like 15 minutes or so. I would say no more than 30 minutes. You're probably going to see a nice little drop down for Bitcoin, or a little bit of a pump up, maybe to $23,000 or so. So keep an eye on that, everybody. Hope to see you guys again. And sorry, my stomach is just not in the right mood. Make sure you guys trust the people serving you fish. That's what I got to